This is Gary Heaton for Drive Electric Cincinnati. I've had this Tesla Model Y for 2 months. It's all electric. This Tesla Model Y has an EPA range of 316 miles. For this, the all-wheel drive version. In our first 2 months of ownership, our real-world mileage has been a little bit less, about 300 miles. A feature of the Model Y is that it has a heat pump, which heats the cabin more efficiently during winter driving. We'll be interested to find out this winter how much that helps our winter range. For the Model Y, there's no tax credit available. The manufacturer's suggested retail price is just under $50,000 for the Model Y all-wheel drive. That's with one motor for the front wheels and a second motor for the rear wheels. It's expected that Tesla will announce a rear-wheel drive version of the Model Y to be available soon. That'll be about $45,000. Why do I drive electric? Originally, I'd say that it's because electric cars are just more fun to drive. They're better vehicles. They have instant acceleration and they handle great. More recently, I'd say that I drive electric because I like to breathe clean air. With the COVID-19 shutdown, suddenly people looked around and realized that they could see for miles. I'd like to breathe that clean air all the time, not just during a COVID shutdown. We have actually, at the end of my driveway here, with only a half a mile from school, we have every school morning a line of diesel buses and cars lined up in a mini traffic jam, and while my kids were waiting for school, they breathed terrible air. I'd like to have clean air for my kids all the time, not just during a crisis. My first experience driving electric was a road trip. Back in 2017, I learned that Chevy was introducing the Bolt with a B. That's the first affordable long-range electric car. And so I found that I could get it 6 months earlier if I bought it out of state. So I flew to Washington, D.C. and drove the car 600 miles back to Cincinnati. That was actually a bit of a challenge back in 2017. There are many more charging stations available publicly now. What was really helpful was staying at a charge hotel, which is a hotel that offers a free charge to hotel guests that stay overnight. So I was able to take off the next morning with a full charge. I charge at home. That's the most convenient way to do it. Here's my home charging setup. I had two electric cars, a Chevy Bolt as well as a Tesla, and so with two of them to charge, I had the charger installed on the wall between the two bays so that it could reach either one, and I paid for the convenience of a 240 volt circuit to charge the cars much faster. So what that looks like here is this cable running from my home electric panel down to this plug on my garage wall. It's called a NEMA 1450 plug and outlet, and this is what you would typically find for an electric range. It's a 50 amp circuit and the standard plug for it. So the cost for installing for the electrician to install the circuit was $500, and then another $500 for this charging box for electric cars that I bought from Amazon. There's a 30% federal tax credit for EV charging equipment installation, and so my net cost was $700 for both the box and installing the charging circuit. Because electric fuel is cheaper than gasoline, I figure that I saved over $700 in my first year of driving electric. So I paid for the cost of this convenient faster charging at home in my first year of EV ownership. I'm going to go ahead and charge the car. So this here is the standard connector for charging any electric car. Any electric car you buy today will be able to charge with this kind of plug. It's called the J1772, and in the case of Tesla they provide an adapter, so I'll just put this on the end. So now it'll go from the J1772 to the Tesla connector, and I'll take it over here to the charge port of the car. And plug it in. It's flashing green, so it started to charge. And if you look on the screen, the car will actually tell you how long it'll take to finish charging. So it'll be about 2 hours and 25 minutes.